students, already we have starts the 8th chapter, transition and inner transition elements, from which the next point of trends in periodic table, trends in properties, that is catalytic properties of first transition series, means scandium to zinc. The catalytic property of the D block element containing of 3D series scandium to zinc. The catalytic property of transition elements, first property is manganese oxide, means Mn. Mn is the first transition elements, that is Mn. The compound of MnO2 is used for decomposition of KClO3, means MnO2 is used as a catalyst for decomposition of KClO3. Then second is molybdenum presence of Fe. Fe is the transition metal of 3D series, means Fe presence of molybdenum used as a catalyst for Haber process. Haber process is for manufacturing of NH3, means for NH3 preparation the catalyst used in this reaction is Fe, presence of molybdenum. Then cobalt, presence of thorium. Cobalt presence of thorium alloy is used for synthesis of gasoline. Cobalt is the first row transition elements, that is cobalt. Cobalt thorium is used as a catalyst for synthesis of gasoline. Then nickel is used for reduction, that is addition of hydrogen to the alkene, means the nickel is used for reduction, that is conversion of alkene to alkane. Then the platinum is used as a catalyst for the oxidation of sulfur dioxide. Addition of oxygen means oxidation, that is platinum is used as a oxidation of sulfur dioxide, get converted into SO3, sulfur dioxide. And last use of D block elements, first transition elements, Fe presence of chromium, higher presence of chromium alloy used for again oxidation of carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide get converted into carbon dioxide. Due to carbon monoxide is toxic pollutant, get converted into CO2, means oxidation of carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide to minimize the pollution, air pollution. Then these are the uses of D block elements as a catalyst. All metals having variable oxidation state, due to which these metals, transition metals and inner transition metals, mostly used as a catalyst. Then next point is formation of interstitial compound. Formation of interstitial compound means mixture, that is the unwanted substance is used for addition of metals and to form an interstitial compound. That is when small compounds like hydrogen, carbon, oxygen is added to the metal to produce the interstitial compound. Interstitial compound means the interstitial compound means when small amount of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen is added to the metal, it changes their properties like chemical and physical. These elements added to the metal, in which, that is in the lattice structure of the metals, to form the compound called as interstitial compound. Sometimes sulfides and oxide are also added to the metal, and that compound is also called as interstitial compound. Then For example, steel is the alloy of iron. Steel is the alloy of iron in which this is the interstitial compound because of Fe is the iron in which the small amount of carbon is added to produce the compound called as steel, that is interstitial compound. Interstitial compound. And when after addition of small amount of carbon to the iron, the softness is increases. The iron is very hard metal. After addition of carbon, the hardness of iron is reduced. That is, the softness is formed called as interstitial compound. Means very small amount of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen elements to the metal called as this compound called as interstitial compound. Again, after addition of carbon to the iron, it produces the three types of alloy, three types of iron, that is cast iron, wrought iron and pig iron. These types of iron is dependent on the addition of percentage of carbon. Addition of percentage of carbon. When percentage of carbon is changes, then the type of compound or type of interstitial compound is changes. Then when the addition of carbon to the iron, malleability and ductility of the iron is reduced and softness is increases. Then some properties of interstitial compound, means after addition of the small amount of these elements to the metal, it forms an alloy or it forms an interstitial compound, and the properties are changes or same as a parent metal. For example, first properties of interstitial compound. Properties of interstitial compound, in which first property is they are hard and good conductor of heat and electricity like metal. For example, addition of carbon to the Fe produces addition of carbon to Fe to form the interstitial compound. Interstitial compound is very hard, having high electrical and thermal conductivity like parent metal. This is parent metal, and this addition of these two elements produces the interstitial compound. Then second property of this interstitial compound is the chemical properties are similar to the parent metal. The interstitial compound is steel. For example, the chemical properties of both, that is parent metal, and after addition of carbon to this parent metal to form a interstitial compound like steel, and Fe and steel having same chemical properties. Third is melting point are higher than those of the pure metal, means interstitial compound having high melting point than Fe, than parent metal. Then fourth is their densities are less than the parent metal, means weight and density of this compound is interstitial compound is less as compared to parent metal. Then metallic carbides are chemically inert and extremely hard as a diamond, means when carbon is added to the Fe to form a compound, interstitial compound is carbide, metal carbide, and metal carbide having chemically inert property, means does not get easily reacted with the another compound, and extremely hard as a diamond, means this interstitial compound FeC metallic carbide metal, these having properties very chemically inert and very high strength, means hard. And last is hydride of transition metals are used as a powerful reducing reagent, means after addition of hydrogen in place of carbon, there is addition of hydrogen means hydride. The interstitial compound is hydride, FeH2. This is hydride. Hydride having as a reducing reagent. Means FeH2 ferric hydrides are used as a reducing agent. These are the properties of interstitial compound. Then next point is formation of alloys. Formation of alloys. First, what is meant by alloy? Then the alloy formation of alloys. Alloys means the homogeneous mixture of two or more compounds in which one must be metal, called as alloy. For example, Fe carbon. The mixture of this compound called as alloy means two or more elements in which one must be metal. This compound is called as alloy. Homogeneous mixture of two or more compounds in which one must be metal, called as alloy. Then formation of alloy. Formation of alloy having two types. Means two types of alloy are, that is, first is ferrous alloy and second is non-ferrous alloy. Ferrous alloy and non-ferrous alloy. The meaning of these two types of alloy in the word, that is ferrous, means the alloy of iron, called as ferrous alloy. Non-ferrous means alloy does not contain iron, means alloy of other metals than iron. The alloy does not contain iron, called as non-ferrous alloy. For example, first ferrous alloy is steel. Steel is the alloy of Fe, means this is the type of ferrous alloy. Then brass. Brass is the alloy of non-ferrous. That is, this is the mixture of copper and zinc. Brass alloy is made by mixture of copper and zinc. That is, brass is not ferrous alloy. Brass is the non-ferrous alloy. Non-ferrous alloy containing mixture of transition metals other than Fe, like copper, zinc, called as non-ferrous alloy. And ferrous alloy means the percentage of iron is more. The percentage of iron is more than called as ferrous alloy. Example, steel, stainless steel, and brass is the example of non-ferrous alloy. Then next point is uses of alloy. The uses of alloy. Alloy are, first use is if bronze. Bronze is the alloy of copper and tin. Uses of alloy. Uses of alloy. First use of bronze. Bronze is the alloy of copper and tin. Copper and tin. Listen. The mixture of copper and tin to form the bronze alloy. Bronze alloy is tough, strong, corrosion resistant, does not corrode easily. That is corrosion resistant. So it is used as a making statue medals. Bronze alloy is used as a for making statue, coins and trophies. Then second use of cupra nickel. Cupra nickel alloy contains copper and nickel. Cupra nickel. This alloy is used as making ships, boats and machinery part due to their strength. Then stainless steel. Third, stainless steel alloy is used for construction of ultra high speed aircraft, means aeroplane parts, airspace, that is ship, buildings. Then nichrome. Nichrome is the alloy of nickel and chromium. Nichrome is the alloy of nickel and chromium stainless steel alloy of Fe. Nichrome having high strength, therefore used as a turbine engine. It is specially used for gas turbine engine. And last is titanium. Titanium is the alloy of tin and it is used for ultra high speed flights and higher proof exhaust shrouds, bulkheads, higher proof bulkheads. These are the uses of alloy. Different types of alloy like bronze, cupranicate, stainless steel and nichromes. Then next point, compounds of barium and chromium are skipped from the syllabus for this year. Therefore, the next point is common properties of d block elements. That is 3D series, 4D series, 5D and 6D. Common properties of all d block elements. The common properties means containing all metals containing d block. Properties of d block elements. First property is all d block elements having shiny nature, means lustrous and shining nature. Then second is all elements are hard and have high density because of having more number of electrons, unpaired electrons, variable oxidation state, therefore high melting point, therefore high strength. Then third is high melting and boiling point. Fourth property have high tensile strength, means load carrying capacity is more of all d block elements. Also the malleability, it can form alloy. All transition metals produces the alloy. Then all metals are paramagnetic in nature. Mostly all metals of d block elements are paramagnetic in nature, means magnetic in nature. Magnetic nature means they are pulled towards the applied magnetic field, called as paramagnetic in nature. And last is the mostly all elements used as a catalyst. These are the physical properties of d block elements. Then chemical properties. Chemical properties of d block element. All d block elements are electropositive, means all d block elements having positive charge, therefore called as electropositive nature. They shows variable oxidation state. One metal shows variable oxidation states 1, 2, 3. Then they are the good reducing reagents. These mostly all d block elements are good reducing reagents. Then next is they forms insoluble oxide and hydroxide. They forms insoluble oxides and hydroxide. Then catalyze biological reaction. They catalyze the biological reaction, that is respiration, digestion, photosynthesis. Then next point is the introduction of minerals and ores, that is introduction of F block elements. Minerals means all naturally compounds called as minerals. Naturally occurring substance found in the earth crust or in the earth. For example, silver, gold. For example, solids, salts. These are the compounds of mineral means naturally occurring compound from earth crust called as minerals. Then ore. Ore is the compound obtained from mineral. Ore is the compound obtained from mineral. Naturally occurring compound is mineral, and the mineral from which metal can be extracted called as ore. The mineral from which metal can be extracted called as ore means metal containing mixture and obtained from the mineral called as ore. Then examples of ore. Some examples of ore. For example, iron ore. Examples of ore: iron ore, hematite. Hematite ore, Fe2O3 is the hematite ore. Then magnetite. Magnetite means Fe3O4 is also ore of iron. Also siderite. Siderite FeCO3. Siderite. Again, examples of ore of copper. Examples of ore of copper: copper pyrite, CuFeS2, copper pyrite. Copper blend, Cu2S, Cu cuprite, Cu2O, cuprite, Cu2O. These are the some examples of ore. First, examples of iron ore. Here, examples of copper ore. Then zinc ore. Zinc blend, ZnS, zinc blend. Again, zincite, ZnO, zincite. And last is calamine. Calamine, ZnCO3. These are the examples of iron ore, copper ore, and zinc ores. Then the next point of this chapter is metallurgy, and metallurgy point is also skipped from the syllabus for this year. That is the pyrometallurgy, hydrometallurgy, electrometallurgy. Again, next point is extraction of iron from hematite ore in blast furnace. Up to this point, these points are skipped from the syllabus. Therefore, the next point is commercial forms of iron. Commercial forms of iron contains cast, rod and steel mixed types of iron. Commercial forms of iron. First is cast iron, second is wrought iron, and third is pig iron. These are the commercial forms of iron, from which cast iron, pig iron also called as steel iron. Steel iron. The cast iron is hard and brittle. Wrought iron is very soft, and steel iron neither hard nor soft. Here in cast iron, percentage of carbon is carbon 4%. In wrought iron, carbon less than 0.2%. Carbon less than 0.2% and contains 0.2 to 2% carbon. The strength is depend on the percentage of carbon. 4% is more, therefore cast iron is very hard. Then last is the cast iron is used for making iron is used in household utensils. Wrought iron. Wrought irons is used for making pipes, bars, bolts, then engine bolts and rivets. And last is steel iron. Steel iron is used in building infrastructures, also used in ships, automobiles, weapons, or making weapons due to their strength. These are the three types of commercial forms of iron. These three types of iron, steels.